packaging your products to increase your brand, your revenue stream, your visitation, and certainly share a lot of my own experience through packaging and what it's done for tourism businesses that I've worked in and managed. It was and continues to be a real game changer in terms of how we also engage within the industry when we take our relationships from, like this room. You come to these things, you meet some new interesting people. It's like, where can we take things from here and actually work collaboratively together? So a little bit about me. I've been working in tourism for over 15 years now, always in the small business sector and in privately owned businesses. The most recent business that I worked in was a hot air balloon company, which I was mentioning to Lisa. This was a business that I worked in for 10.5 years, and like from the ground up, really took on a lot of what we're going to talk about today. Developing product that is not only a sustainable product and marketable to a domestic and a local audience, but also taking a product and taking it into the international market for the inbound tourism sector. So we're not going to touch too much on that, but certainly it's good for you to have this awareness of the possibilities and potential of what you can create when you collaborate together. So from Global Ballooning, I went on to now share this experience, a lot of it, but particularly around digital marketing, social media, and this has been one of the most popular in packaging and product development. So I guess one we're going to cover, so I'll just run through quickly. We're going to look at tourism and define it together. Benefits, so look at why, what are the benefits. There are some obvious benefits, but there's a lot more we can really leverage from this. Your customer is our customer, so really look at what we're doing as a holistic destination approach, because we've really got to look at them, how can we get them here first and then come to us. So we want to look at things as a collective. Packages versus deals, there's a distinct difference, so we'll go into a little bit detail about that. Pricing, this is a very important component when we're creating packages. Working with trade, 5 key components of successful packaging, and then we're going to have a go at creating a package at the end of this. I always love, all busy, we're busy in your day. We've taken a few hours together today to really work in our businesses, so you can come out with your little workbook and tomorrow activate your package and your new relationship together, that we create today. So to start with, when we talk about tourism, just throw at me, what is your definition of tourism? If you could define it in a word, in a sentence, what would come to mind? If you think of tourism. Travel? Visitor experience? Yeah? Experience is a big one. Visitors? You said travel? When the dictionary, when I look at tourism, the activity or practice of touring, especially for pleasure, business or industry of providing information, accommodation, transportation, and other services to tourists. So tourism, in a sense, is packaging, because it's not just one thing. Every component of everybody in the room makes up the industry. So, and to define what we're talking about is essentially our industry, because it doesn't work, it's not insular. It all revolves around collaboration and relationships. Okay, so I was just explaining to Alicia earlier, this is such a great foundation for you guys, particularly when we talk about digital marketing or social media. You can start to see, and we'll build out opportunities where you can even think of these conversations that we have in the room as content for what you produce, not only in your printed material, but also how you translate into the online space. Hello and welcome.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
No, you're fine. Did you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, my name's Alvaro. I'm the franchisee at Questa Killer Bayside. Just
excellent.
Over here, and part of us in Killer Tourism.
Wonderful. Well, great to have you here. So, when we talk benefits, I mean, one of the key benefits is that when we package something together, we are creating a convenience for our consumer. So we find looking for to stay a night at the Quest or Ridges, if I come there and I'm celebrating, and this is just happens recently, I'm coming there whether it's to celebrate a special occasion or I'm coming in from interstate, when something is there already packaged up with a dinner voucher to a local venue or passes to a theme park, this is something that it's going to create a convenience for me as a consumer to do it all in one transaction, in one time slot, okay, rather than waiting. We're taking that that time away from the customer to think about it. Perceived value, so we're adding value to our consumer. A new audience, which is of course equaling a new profit channel. So what we're doing here, your clientele is exactly the same people that I want to reach. So when we're collaborating in this way, we're tapping in to new markets that are also your ideal customers as well. Creates leveraging opportunities. It's low risk, so just taking the time out to put together a package might initially be a little bit labour intensive because there's a lot of information and things you need to consider. But essentially, unless, really, it's not exchanged in dollars. It doesn't have to be anyway, it can be. So ultimate benefits of packaging for you and your business. Relationship builder. Some of my, lifelong friends have come out of tourism industry because we've done exactly that. We've packaged things together, and that means we've offset costs to go to trade shows together. We've offset costs to go to run ads in, whether it's print or run campaigns online. So when we're packaging up together and we are creating these relationships, we're just taking them to another level. And I can give you examples. Over my time at Global Ballooning, there wasn't a product, Destination Melbourne, so we would work very closely with Destination Melbourne. There used to be an attractions meeting that they would have quarterly. Now, I was just always so blessed when I got an invite to this thing, because we're a balloon company, but we're not a museum or an attraction. But the amount of opportunities always in the room to create packages was always really, really beneficial. Accelerates your learning, so in terms of, if you see someone with a bigger brand, or, I've seen someone, I think it was a Ridges, and I'll give you a lot of examples of businesses in Melbourne and here that are also doing packages, but you can imagine there's nothing to stop. It's to stop you from collaborating and creating opportunities even with bigger organisations. So aligning yourselves with a brand, I think of top like Melbourne Zoo, for example. Ridges has got a package with the Melbourne Zoo experience. Now that's creating a really good convenience to the consumer, but it's also a great marketing opportunity to have that type of brand alignment. Okay? Enhances your credibility. Again, for that, at Global Ballooning, we would have packages with the likes of the Hilton Hotel. Now, there's a small, little, tiny hot air balloon business that did really good for our credibility and our brand. And then you think about, you've got to think a lot bigger than that when it would come to running campaigns and autumn special. You think of what the Hilton database would be like. So having a relationship like that, you're really tapping in to something a lot more for very little, that's very cost effective. Another big one, benefit for you, when we're building these relationships, you really can block out your competitors. So it's a great competitive advantage when we do these, collaborate in this way. Now, before we do anything though, we have to really tap into who do we serve? We talked about there's some challenges happening on the street and in the area, but aside of all that, who is the visitor that we want to attract? Now, before we'll do this as a bit of a brainstorm together. Quest and Ridges, you have websites. Do we all have websites? So for you smaller operators, who does not have everyone? Yeah, excellent. Now this is one of the greatest, I mean, we talk about, and I won't go into too much website lingo, but when we're talking about creating content and being relevant in search, we need to be creating new material on our websites. So if you've got websites and it's something that you've set and forgot and you don't know when the last time you've updated or don't know when the last time you've put something on there, that's not going to do good for your rankings. So even opportunities like this, it's great for you to be able to go in there and put new exciting things that you're doing. Okay. So when we're saying know our market, we're just getting our windows cleaned. I should come up as a man view on the whiteboard. Our ideal people, our ideal market, our ideal visitors to our destination. So this is something when we're thinking about, okay, what kind of packages do I want to create? Let's start with, well, who's the ideal client that I want to attract? And then we move back from there, okay? So the next one I have, what experiences are they looking for? So what experiences are these clients looking for? So what is different, what is unique about us? What is it, like if you were to finish the sentence, only we, and this is a great exercise, everything I'm sharing with you here, do it for your own business. If you finish the sentence, only we as a destination, what's different about us as opposed to our neighbours down the road or any other destination? What's something that's unique and sets us apart? The story that we want to tell the visitor. So when we talk about, now I know in the travel industry and in marketing, and I think really what more and more people are looking for authenticity. Okay, when they're looking to buy something and part with their money, they're buying the person, the story. We want more of that. What is the story that we want to tell? This is one of my favourite quotes. Now when we're looking at this from whether it's a visitor experience or from a customer service experience, we relate to that. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So when we look at this from how do we want our visitors to feel when they leave St Kilda after a visit? Now we've touched on a lot before, but we want them to feel happy.
Welcome.
And that's what's always lovely with workshopping these things. When the more we get on the same page, the more we can go out there and then execute, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. We want them to feel happy, inspired and welcome. I think that's a good thing. Yeah. When it comes to knowing your customer, now this is the first thing in your workbooks, okay? I just want you to take 2 minutes.
I might need a few more workbooks.
Yeah. I just want you to take a couple of minutes and answer. And I want you to answer that for your business and think about your customer. Think about feedback you've had. Think about all the frequently asked questions you've received. And I want you to answer that. What does my customer want? Put their hat on. I mean, any type, all of what we're talking about is content, but take it to a visual level and, you know, whether it's through imagery or video. I mean, that's what, we process it so much quicker in our brains than we do the written word. So we want to be able to think like that too, about everything that we speak to today. And we're going to talk about a main new piece of content that you're going to create in a package, but thinking beyond that, in what more material can I create to solve these problems for my customer, my ideal client. We've got a packaging myth buster that we're going to, you know, like that show, okay?
Looks like an ender.
Packages and deals. What's the difference? So go and give a go. Like something a bit
Deals or
mythbuster.
discounts, packages add value.
Boom. Yeah, that's right. It's really true. We think of deals sometimes like these coupons, Groupons, you know, that sometimes I've had people align packages to the same, like, no, we don't want to drop our DAX to go on these, or think that packages needs to something that's heavily discounted to be made viable, but it's actually the very opposite. What we spoke about earlier about adding value and consumer convenience is the value. So you don't need to discount nothing when you're creating a package. And that was something that it took me a couple of years that I would create these packages, and with that perceived notion that to be a package, I need to discount my partner, whoever I'm packaging with, they need to discount, and then we're selling, and it was a big mess. And then by the end of it, you go, we've really made nothing on this. It's time consuming until I just overnight, no, we're not going to do that. It's full price both, because that's the value add. It's the convenience that if I can tick the boxes, yep, I can do it in one transaction and I'm done and I've covered everything that I want to cover, all inclusive, that's a big benefit. So it's true. So that's a big myth buster, that you don't have to discount to think that that's the package. When it's a deal, yes, a deal is a discount, an incentive, a further incentive, buy two, get one free, and all of this type of business. But a package is something that is price of bundled products, if broken out individually, should not equal more than the package price. So it can be less if you wanted to. I would highly recommend don't do that, but it should definitely not equal more. And then deals, yes, it's like we said earlier, it does have more than often a monetary value in terms of a discount or a value add. So deal or package. So here we go, this was one that I was talking, so this is Ridges, I think in Melbourne, that I took, okay? So say here, you can tell the difference. You've got stay 3 nights and save 30%. But then look at this sexy looking package, choose your own adventure. So they've put a package and you can choose which zoo you want to go to. So I've done a package together with Victoria Zoos. So it's beautiful, it's all laid out in there, but how convenient is that for me as a family if I'm coming? Okay, I do it in one hit, it includes my entry ticket, I know what I'm paying, okay? What we're talking a lot here though is what we can do direct through our channels and our consumers and through our collaborative nature. Because yes, you go onto iVenture, a business like Red Balloon Days, a lot of you would have heard of, that was our top selling agent. They've become a multi-million-dollar successful business purely through the gifting of experiences.
Yeah.
So any time that I would package up a new product, I would go and give it to them, and it would go nuts in terms of a sale. But that was where I learned my lesson, that I don't go and discount anymore, because I can still provide the package to my third-party agents or sellers, and give them a commission without having to go any further. Does that make sense? We'll touch on it in the pricing section. It's got that lovely copy of Choose Your Own Adventure. Here's what you'll receive. Beautiful. Kids eat free. Deal.
Yeah.
Hey, I think that's one of yours. Yeah. The more packaging we did, the more we grew our revenue, our relationships, and our brand alignment, okay? So we created, without our packages, all we do is flight over Melbourne and flight over Yarra Valley. That's it. That's all we do. Just like you just sleep, we all do one thing. But another benefit, when we start looking at accommodation packages and then experience packages, suddenly we've got this plethora of products that we can take to market. So from there, you can see here we have, this is an example of accommodation packages, say at the Pullman, Amora, and then we've got another range for Yarra Valley in the locations that we built out. And then Melbourne experiences, so with the chocolate tour, and then, getting quirky with getting a little bit creative with your names. I'll keep this and you can come and take photos of it, but everything that we've talked about today, stay 1, get 2 free, save 30%. Like, boring. Boring, that's not St Kilda. Some other examples. So here I've got a wine tour company, because it was a bike tour company that was
Yeah.
registered too, wasn't it? Not here.
Oh, just in Kilda Rickshaws, yeah.
Yes, rickshaws, that's right, yeah.
Classic bike shop as well.
And the classic bike shop.
The
as well,
classic
yeah.
bike shop.
You never know. that's
Well,
the-
these are just some ideas and some inspiration from, other businesses that I know. This is a regional business. They do wine tours, pick up from the city and take out. And they've just started to do overnight accommodation packages. So again, you think about, it's not something, I don't have to build a hotel. I go and find one that I can partner with. So instead of, they've branched out from having a 1-day tour every day that they rent, now they have a 2-day experience. And this is a balloon and wine tour package that we had together. And now I'm just giving you examples of how they translate. So here's that package on one supplier's website, on the tour company website. And here's what we're looking like on the accommodation website. So you can see in terms of new audience, new reach, opportunity to get new, unique visitors to your website, this can be really powerful. Peninsula Hot Springs is another, like they're packaging kings in the tourism industry. So you can see here, it's very clever, and I've given you the example of RACV. So Peninsula Hot Springs, doing a package with the RACV Cave Shank Resort, where does it go? Onto the RACV website. So again, where are opportunities where I can find bigger brands that I can align with, where my little business can add value to them, but that also I can leverage from that exposure from them, okay? So I've just loaded that up with some examples for you to see.